For this intensification method, we're going to be discussing intent/focus, right? Or building the mind-muscle connection, right? So you always talk about like this mind-muscle connection, you know, bodybuilders or lifters are focusing on that muscle group, right? So it's different. Like you take Lawrence, for example. Lawrence has done powerlifting, strength training, strongman. When you're doing that, the focus is externally. It's on the weight itself. But when he's focused on building muscle, a lot of times he might focus on concentrating on the muscle itself and building a mind-muscle connection. And we do have a mind-muscle connection. Like our brain is literally connected to our spinal cord through neurons, which connect all the way out to the muscle. So we actually do have a connection between the mind and the muscle. And with intent, what you're doing is you're focusing on the muscle, but you're trying to initiate the movement with the target muscle itself, right? So for example, if you were doing cable crossovers, before you start the movement, you contract the pecs. And then you'd actually do the movement itself. So you're focusing on the muscle, you're contracting that muscle before you start, and then you're actually going through that range of motion itself and building that mind-muscle connection. So Lawrence, how do you use that mind-muscle connection intent in your own training?
Basically, I love what you said earlier, because there are times where you're just there to push the weight. But when I'm actually working on getting ready for like a classic physique show, I'm actually focusing on building my pecs or building my shoulders. I like to squeeze as hard as possible and really focus on just that muscle group. Even though you're working chest and your shoulders and triceps are being used as a secondary muscle, your main intent is your chest. So you're really focusing on that squeeze all the way through, and even through the stretch of just feeling that muscle stretch. And it's a weird way of really thinking about working out. It's not about the weight, it's more about the contraction that you get with the weight. The weight is just a tool.
And that's really a key point too. What Lawrence is saying is it's another way. Lawrence has been trained a long time, right? And a lot of people don't have careers as long as Lawrence because they're not using other techniques that save their joints. So studies do show when you focus on the muscle activation does go up. So for example, if Lawrence were to just do normal cable crossovers, he wouldn't get as much muscle activation with the same weight as if he focused. So when he goes from just doing normal lifting to focus lifting, you see muscle activation goes up proportionally and he saves his joints at the same time. So great insight, Lawrence.